Coming up next, reaction to the controversial State College Borough mask mandate as COVID cases keep rising in our area.
Plus, confusion and frustration among some Penn State football ticket holders as the university moves to all digital ticketing.
And all I have to do is pick them up. They're paid for, etc. And yet here I am standing in line for hours to pick up some tickets.
And how the whiteout weekend provided a big financial boost for Center County businesses that have faced some tough times over the past year and a half. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Mike Hopp. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report.
And I'm Claire VOCKE. This is our first ever newscast in the new Belisario Media Center. Our top story, as COVID cases spike in Center County, State College's indoor mask mandate is back in place until at least late November. But reporter Chloe MESOGITIS says not everyone is happy about the rule, especially with the busy fall season of school, football, tourism, and more.
Masks and mandates, two words that have become normalized and polarized since COVID-19 hit back in March of 2020. Now, with COVID cases increasing in our area, State College Borough has reinstated an indoor mask mandate for all businesses and public buildings. Some people aren't happy.
I think we're going to be backtracking in a way that we kind of overcame the masks and put us back into a situation which could furthermore lead to a quarantine or capacity limits.
Jaden McHenry believes the return to masks will have a negative impact.
Even when they were mandated last year, it didn't stop weekend plans. Everyone did their own thing, even though it was restricted.
But the consequences of violating the mandate can be costly.
On this very sidewalk right here, businesses that line streets in State College can face up to a $300 fine. This doesn't just go for businesses, but individuals. So the only option is to mask up.
Despite the fines, Borough spokesman Doug SHONTZ says the move will help the community stay safe during a recent spike in COVID cases.
Council believes that as we're trying to work towards creating a safe community, that this is one step that we can take as a community to help protect those that are unable to get the vaccine.
He says the goal is to get Center County out of the danger zone.
The ultimate goal is really just to, again, lower that transmission rate, so that we're not in that high transmission rate as identified by the CDC.
Sean says reaction to the mask mandate isn't surprising, but the borough values residents' health.
And it's really just about overall health and safety of our community.
The mandate is in effect until at least November 22nd. In State College, I'm Chloe MESOGITIS for the Center County Report.
There were at least 34 patients hospitalized with COVID in Center County as of yesterday, according to the State Health Department.
The union representing state prison guards wants a state court to step in after Governor Wolf mandated all corrections officers either get vaccinated for COVID or submit to weekly testing. The lawsuit asks to end the mandate unless inmates, visitors, and outside vendors also face the same requirement. The union says more than 3,700 members have been infected with the virus during the pandemic.
Severe staffing shortages, partly because of the pandemic, have led to CATA making changes to its local bus schedules. The bus service is suspending 3 routes and ending service early on 2 others starting this week. The suspended routes are Pine Grove, Craze Woods, and Science Park. The Caddo Park route is now ending at 7 p.m. and starting October 4th. Other routes will also end early. You can find the complete list and details online at catabus.com.
One of the few clothing stores in downtown State College has closed after almost 5 years in business. H&M on Fraser Street permanently locked its doors on Sunday. An employee we talked with declined to comment on the closing, but the company's quarterly report in June said it planned to close more than 300 stores and also open 100 new locations. H&M says, like other chains, it's been affected by an increase in online shopping, especially during the pandemic. There was no final clothing sale in State College because unsold merchandise went to other stores. And another well-known State College business has also closed its doors. Bar Blue, a mainstay in the downtown area since its Garner Street opening in 2002, now sits vacant. The main window shows a Continental Real Estate Management for lease sign. The bar is the second restaurant owned by a parent company, Dante's Restaurants and Nightlife, to close in the past 6 months.
But one of the biggest weekends of the year helped bring a boost to the State College economy as Penn State's annual whiteout football game returned to Beaver Stadium. Reporter Kylie Hill says it was an important event to bring back more business to the borough.
For decades, Penn State football weekends have turned State College from a small college town into one of the state's most populated places. But COVID changed that last year. Without fans, the local economy took a serious financial hit, including for the biggest football weekend of the year. The annual whiteout took a pause in 2020 due to the pandemic, which left local businesses like Lions Pride struggling to rebound from coronavirus losses. But this year, the whiteout returned, and with it, so did thousands of visitors that injected a much-needed financial shot in the arm to Center County businesses.
We also have a ton of customers that visit us year after year, so it's fun to see so many returning faces and people that we've just gotten to know.
Despite the ongoing COVID threat and borough mask mandate, Whiteout Weekend brought a big economic boost to the area, which sold out hotels, packed restaurants and bars, and busy retail stores. Places like Lions Pride made special plans early on.
Typically leading up to Whiteout Weekend, we're busy stocking the store. We did have some issues this year with inventory because, like in a lot of other industries, the supply chains are messed up. So we weren't able to get a lot of the products that we had ordered specifically for the Whiteout in.
And with 5 more Nittany Lion home games left this fall, there's more opportunity to turn last year's losses into this year's profits. In State College, I'm Kylie Hill for the Center County Report.
Business owners say this year's whiteout helped them rebuild from the losses they faced in the past year.
As crowds of more than 100,000 return to Beaver Stadium this season, Penn State has changed to all mobile ticketing, and that's causing some issues for some fans. Jordan Mansberger reports.
Robert Duncan is a die-hard Penn State football fan, and this season, he's waited in lines that wrap around the Bryce Jordan Center 3 times, not to buy tickets, but to get help with his football tickets.
As I've talked to other people here, we all are here for different reasons. They're paid for, etc., and yet here I am standing in line for hours to pick up some tickets.
Since Penn State announced its transition to all mobile ticketing this year, the line at the BJC ticket office has been long for the first 2 home games. Fans have had issues ranging from trouble logging into their accounts to tickets labeled as a past event.
If I logged onto the website, it said I had no events, so that was a little frustrating. And then I finally got the Ball State ticket last week, but none of my other ones would load.
Others are also struggling.
I was logged in through my Ticketmaster account with my personal email rather than with my Penn State email, so I guess that ended up being the issue. I don't know, it was just stressful because in years past I've never had issues with student tickets and now there's issues.
The university is working to fix the issues and has sent ticket holders a swarm of emails and information on the changes, including video tutorials on how to use the mobile ticketing. But through 2 weeks, some fans are still dealing with the same problems.
But ultimately, the goal is for the students who have to wait here at the ticket office is not to remain here, but the students want to make it here to Gate A at Beaver Stadium.
As the Nittany Lions get ready to welcome Villanova on Saturday, fans hope the new digital ticketing process gets easier. In University Park, I'm Jordan Mansberger for the Center County Report.
If you're one of those who needs some extra help with your tickets, call the Athletics ticket office at 1-800-NITTY or visit the BJC ticket office in person from 11 to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Friday.
Still to come on the Center County Report, the already crowded race for Pennsylvania governor has another new candidate.
Plus, are we in for a rainy rest of the week? A look at the 7-day forecast. Also coming up, a look behind the scenes at ESPN's College Gameday as the popular show returned to State College over the weekend. That story and more after the break.
A former top federal prosecutor has announced he's running for Pennsylvania governor. It's an already crowded field of candidates. Republican Bill McSwain was a prosecutor in Philadelphia under former President Donald Trump. It's his first run for public office. McSwain highlights his background in law enforcement and service in the Marine Corps. He's also been critical of Democratic Governor Tom Wolf's handling of the pandemic.
Geisinger is opening a new health center this fall in Patton Township. The location is on Patriot Lane in the new Trader Joe's Plaza. The new center is designed specifically for people 65 and older. Patients will now be able to have longer appointments with their doctors and make same-day appointments. The center will also offer free social activities like personal wellness plans, ceramics classes, and card games. Construction on the 65 Forward Health Center is underway and is expected to begin serving patients in October. And now to Kevin with the weather.
Good afternoon, I'm student meteorologist Kevin Appleby with a check of that Tuesday afternoon forecast. And as you can see in the picture behind me at Beaver Stadium, a very cloudy, very dark gray sky. Thanks to that easterly wind. You'll notice that if you're going out and about this afternoon. Currently coming in actually more out of the south now at 11 miles an hour. Cloudy skies and the temperature at 66 degrees. As we take a look at temperatures across central Pennsylvania, you could see generally mid-60s, a bit warmer as we head towards the southeastern part of the state capital, coming in at 76. Nearing 80 degrees in Philadelphia thanks to that easterly wind. And as you look out west, upper 70s thanks to a more southerly flow. Plenty of gray skies for today thanks to that east wind. Offshore high pressure is funneling in east wind. A cold front's approaching for the middle of the week, and that'll bring a lot of rain and a lot of storms to the area. However, behind that cold front, we've got a great shot of autumn that'll be here for the weekend. So temperatures across the United States right now, we can see this warmth in the eastern United States. There's that cold front where you see that yellow shading and then some green behind it. You got much colder, much cooler air behind it, and that'll be marching its way, albeit very slowly, over the next several days. A little bit of shower activity in the Carolinas and into the Tennessee Valley. However, what we're watching is this cold front right here. It'll keep pushing east over the next day or so. So let's time it out for you real quick. Generally this afternoon, not much in the way of precipitation, but as we move through the overnight, you could see an increase in rain coverage as we go through the night. And as we go into tomorrow afternoon, you can see this line of storms that's moving east. It's very slow, and it'll move across overnight. You could see it kind of stalls over central Pennsylvania, and that's where we could see some areas picking up over 3 inches of rainfall as we go into Thursday morning. By Thursday afternoon, it's clearing for central Pennsylvania, and then it's out of here. So for today here in State College, we've got a high temperature of 66 degrees under cloudy skies. A shower is possible, but I think the threat's mainly for the overnight. And speaking of the overnight, we'll have a drop down to just 63 degrees. Showers will develop, and the southeast wind will persist at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And as we go into the day tomorrow, we'll have a day of high temperature of 70 degrees. Periods of rain, but the main rain, the heaviest of the rain that is, will be here for the overnight hours and into early Thursday morning. So let's take a look at that 7-day forecast where your weekend is in view. After this cold front passes through for the day, it'll improve for Thursday afternoon, and then for the weekend we'll have a big shot of autumn temperatures in the upper 60s with nice conditions, sunny skies.
Well, I'm definitely going to want my rain jacket this week, Kevin. Thank you so much.
And now to Gabriella with the sports.
Thanks, Kevin. Coming up next in sports, high school football is in full swing across Central PA. We also have highlights from the State College Little Lions game. Also ahead, Penn State welcomed Auburn for the whiteout on Saturday night. Game highlights and reactions from Coach James Franklin are coming up after the break. I'm Gabriella Hornack with sports. Penn State football is looking to stay unbeaten this week as it faces non-conference opponent Villanova. On Saturday, in front of the 10th largest crowd in Beaver Stadium history, the Nittany Lions won a close one against Auburn.
Pom-poms pumping, students serenading, and a sea of white flooding Beaver Stadium can only mean one thing: the Penn State whiteout. The annual tradition returned on Saturday after a year off during the pandemic. Several thousand Auburn fans made the trip, but they ran into a rather rowdy Beaver Stadium crowd.
In a nail-biting matchup, the number 10 Penn State Nittany Lions rolled through the number 22 Auburn Tigers 28-20 in a conference matchup that had them on the edge of their seats until the last second.
The Lions' offense was on display, totaling 391 yards of offense. Quarterback Sean Clifford went 28 of 32 for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You know, he's taken some criticism, so I'm super happy for him. He's a tough-minded guy. He's physically tough, and he made the plays that he should have made tonight. But I also thought he made a couple plays. The play that he extended and threw it in the back of the end zone, I thought that was a big-time play.
Clifford found his stride with the offensive line, delivering successful passes to Jahan Dotson. Dotson had a career-high 10 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Auburn quarterback Bo Nix couldn't settle into his passing game, but his third down throws kept Auburn alive with 2 touchdown drives. Tigers running back Tank Bigsby carried the Tigers' offensive load with over 100 yards. But it was the Nittany Lions defense that settled the deal in the Final Four and forced Auburn to turn over on downs as time ran out. Penn State now has 2 wins against ranked teams in the first 3 games of the season. The Nittany Lions moved up to number 6 in the new AP poll. They're back at Beaver Stadium Saturday for a noon game against Villanova. And you can listen to that game live on Penn State's COM Radio. Whiteout Weekend featured another visit to Penn State from the ESPN College Gameday crew. Thousands turned out on Saturday morning on the Old Main lawn to watch and see themselves on TV. Reporter Riley Curry has the story.
Days before Penn State's famous whiteout game, ESPN's production crews rolled into State College to begin setting up for College Game Day, the national pregame show that once again returned to Penn State. Crews began to transform the lawn of Old Main into a giant TV set as students and others checked out the process. This is the 5th straight year that Game Day has traveled to Penn State. Thousands of fans flooded the lawn on Saturday morning to be a part of the live audience.
Right now, there's so much team spirit in the crowd, and everyone is just cheering and getting amped up for tonight's games. As you can see, there are many Penn State and Auburn fans who are actually present for today's pregame.
ESPN sideline reporter Holly Rowe talked with me about Penn State's fans.
I think people are more excited because we were away. You know, when sports gets ripped away from you like it has been, I think we appreciate it more, you know. Attendance is up, crowds are up, the excitement is so much better. So I think we have a greater appreciation for what we have now, and I'm expecting the best whiteout ever.
Some fans showed up as early as 5 a.m. to get a front row spot in the crowd. In University Park, I'm Riley Curry for Center County Report.
Now this week's ESPN College Game Day heads to Chicago for the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game. To high school football now, the State High Little Lions came away with a win against Chambersburg over the weekend. They're now 3-1 on the season. Reporter John Drager has the highlights from Memorial Field.
College Game Day's Chris Fowler made a guest appearance at Memorial Field on the eve of the whiteout as the State College Little Lions took on the Chambersburg Trojans in a matchup of 2-1 teams. The Little Lions got things going early when TJ Yoder hauled in a screen pass from quarterback Finn Fermanek and took it 80 yards downfield, setting up a State College touchdown a few plays later by running back Owen Yurka. Chambersburg responded on their next drive with a 72-yard bomb from Jameer Jones to Malachi Scott. The Trojans missed the extra point, keeping them down 7-6. Just before halftime, with State College up 17-6, the Little Lions bolstered their lead on an 18-yard touchdown run by Dante Nastasi. Following the point after, State College took a 24-6 lead into the half. At the start of the third quarter, State High star wideout Jashawn Green went down with an injury on a jump ball in the end zone. Green left the field on a stretcher and did not return. State College kept its foot on the gas when Fermanek punched in another score to put the Little Lions up 31-6. State College finished the game strong, taking home a 38-22 win over Chambersburg.
Credit to our kids. I think our line on both sides of the ball really did a tremendous job. So our offensive line, we really challenged them this week to come off, and I think they controlled the line of scrimmage. We were able to establish a real good run game and then take some really good play action shots that Finn was able to connect with.
I mean, we came out from the jump and everything was going well on offense, and our defense also did very well, and we were just clicking on all cylinders.
State College hits the road this Friday to take on Central Dauphin East in Harrisburg. That's just one of the local games on the schedule, and we'll bring you more highlights from some of those games this weekend on After the Whistle. The Penn State men's soccer team is back on the field tonight to face Villanova. The Lions are coming off a weekend win at home. On Friday night at Jeffrey Field, they hosted Northwestern in the first Big Ten game of the season. It was the 9th annual Mac Brady match, honoring a fan who passed away in 2012. In the first half, Northwestern got on the board in the 12th minute, with a goal from Justin Weiss. In the second half, within 12 seconds, the Nittany Lions were able to get on the board with a goal from Liam Butts to tie it at 1. 5 minutes later, Danny Bloyu sent the ball over to Butts for another goal, giving Penn State the lead and a 2-1 win.
I think the quicker we score, the easier it becomes for us because we have a lot of weapons. So I think once we got that goal and they were forced to come out that block, I knew we were just going to take over.
Penn State is now 4-2-1 on the season. Well, that's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Gabriella. Coming up next, travelers may soon have a new destination to fly direct from State College. We'll tell you about a new plan to add flights from Center County. That's after the break.
Travelers flying out of University Park Airport may soon have another destination, Charlotte, North Carolina. The Center County Airport Authority is hoping to bring that connection to State College soon. It's in talks with American Airlines and is pitching $250,000 in incentives to start 2 flights per day to and from Charlotte. A meeting on the proposal is set for tomorrow. Charlotte is the 11th busiest airport in the country and is a major hub to other cities.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page and our website. Have a great afternoon.
We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you did.
For the rest of our newscasts and featured stories, click here.
And for sports, click here. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.